fuck off! The keeper knows nothing about it, no wonder Bane's laughing there. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and this one's going to be a reaction to the Old Firm, where honestly, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below, but I'm sitting here and I don't know how to feel. I almost feel as if there wasn't even an Old Firm this morning. There was a lot of talk in the build up to this because of obviously Thursday's game and the situation that happened in that with Kamara. That got so much of the talking points, rightly so, on the lead up to the Old Firm that it wasn't forgotten about, but you know what I mean by that, because for both teams it was just about pride, because we're already the champions and they're still fighting for second place. I'm not bouncing about with absolute joy because it's an Old Firm and we always want to win them, and it does feel like we've dropped some more points here, albeit we're still holding on to that invincible record. But what makes you smile at the end of the day is we're still 155 and we've took the Morelos canny score against Celtic trophy right off them, as well as the precious 10. I was really happy to see that Kamara was in the right mind frame to actually be able to start this game today, and it was good to see both sets of players at the start of it stand up against racism and not do the take a knee, which it's run its course now, and it seems like a bit more of a tokenism where it's actually action that needs to happen now. And just in case anyone's wondering about our live reactions to it as well, I did record it, but the visual side of it, the video side of it, was corrupt. It was all choppy. The audio sides came through, and I don't want to just put audio in with a picture. That's just kind of, well, it's not as good for the video. But this laptop that I've got right now, it's starting to run its course, and I'm looking at buying a PC which would up the streams, up the video quality, etc. So we'll see about that. That might be here within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I know I've spoke about it a lot recently, but again, I just feel like right now I can't show enough support for Kamara and anyone else who's experienced racism. And lately, what's been happening with Slavia Prague, a club who they were being quite respectful to us in the lead up to it. They seemed to be quite in awe at Glasgow and Ibrox, and now they've just turned into, obviously you've got Celtic levels of hate, but then right underneath it, I'm sure most Rangers fans will agree, come in Slavia Prague, because they are backing up their racist player, doubling down, making up lies. It's one of those where they're so deep in the lie that they're lying to try and come out of it, and they've just made an absolute mess of it for themselves. They're at the point now where they're actually saying that Rangers covered up the cameras so that Kamara could assault Kudela in the tunnels. It's an absolute embarrassment. And really quickly as well, we've got our own little merchandise store. I've had it requested a few times in DMs down in the comments below. I've been a bit hesitant in doing it, but we've got a few designs there. I'll leave a description to that down below where you can go and find it. I know it's not everyone's thing, but it's there if you want to check it out. When you click on each design in the store, there's lots of different colours you can choose from and all different sizes in there as well. So getting into an actual review of the game then, and I felt for Patterson picking up that knock on Thursday, not being fit enough to start today, although he made the bench and came on later on, and I thought he was very impressive. We'll talk about that later on. We started with Balogun at fullback, and I also felt for him a bit as well today, because like the Antwerp game, he really did today look like a centre-half playing at right-back. Celtic really were ganging up on him at that right-back spot towards the start of the game, and there were a lot of crosses in from that side, and which did lead to their first goal. But albeit, now that I've watched it back, it was actually a pretty decent goal, to be fair. The ball in behind was good. The first time cross was pretty good as well, and Hilander's done what he can, but it's the finish as well. There's not much I can complain at about that, albeit Morelos had the first shot on target, which was just literally attacked before that. The next big talking point in the game was Edouard getting caught diving again, and this one was absolutely horrific. When Willie Coleman charged though, I was like, oh no, he's definitely going to give a penalty, but once you've seen it back and watched the replays of it, it's so bad, and if he wasn't a Celtic player, I would actually expect him to get a retrospective ban with how bad that dive was, so he's rightfully yellow carded for that. But the next talking point is Alfredo Morelos, who breaks the drought against Celtic. He's put up a lot of good performances, but that just is the cherry on top of the cake on his Rangers career so far, really. Big Balogun does well to be up to the corner and be first to it, and he does actually get the assist for the Morelos goal, and here's our reaction to that. It's going to be Dalus, who we usually do the watch along. His video will be on screen, but you'll hear my audio reaction to it as well, because like I was saying earlier, yeah, I'm trying to get a new PC now. Come on, Bonner. Oh. Let's go, Morelos! Yes! Let's go! McGregor did have a few more saves to make in the lead up to half time from likes of Turnbull and like El Yunis's headers off of corners, which to be fair, they did have a lot of corners today that we had to deal with. But one which was almost such a special goal was we've come to see this quite a lot in this Rangers team lately. Hadji dropping deep, on the spin, playing a ball in behind Kent on the supposed weaker foot of his, that left. Volleys at first time across goal, and what a save it is by Bain, to be fair. The first little half chance of the second half came when just before Balogun got took off. He swung a good ball into the box and it bounced just before Morelos, and if he managed to take a touch, he's like 8 yards out with a pick your spot, Alfie. He would have had his second goal for the day, but unlucky not to get the control on that one. The next couple of chances of the game failed to Celtic, and one was a volley from the edge of the box of Edouard that was definitely going in. Top save from McGregor. Another one was Turnbull running off of Davis in behind after Kent got dispossessed in midfield, and McGregor stood up strong again, and I think it's fair to say he was Rangers man of the match today, which is brilliant for him after they made, well, somewhat controversial statement, depending on how you viewed it, after he made quite a few mistakes on Thursday for the goals. Edouard had another dive later on in the second half where, in my opinion, and I think most Rangers fans or unbiased fans' opinion, would say he should have had a second yellow, and I'd have been very interested to see if that was Morelos that dived twice, what the reaction would have been. Oh, get him booked in! That's a second time. If he's down there asking for it, he's already been booked for diving. What is it? It's one or the other. Either it's a foul or he's dived. Alfie didn't get a chance to score a double on the day because Roof and Wright came on for Aribo and Morelos, and Roof didn't get involved in the game too much when they came on, but Wright was everywhere. He was showing energy, he was showing determination, which is great to see. There was one point as well towards the end where he's made a great dribble, but the final product just wasn't there on a pass through to Roof, which really could have been the winner. Go on, Roof. Great interception for the ref, the pass just isn't good enough. Oh man, it's hit back off. The keeper knows nothing about it, no wonder Bain's laughing there. Oh, you see us back again, the pass is so poor through. Oh, it's off a Celtic player, that could have went anywhere. And that was all she wrote for that game. Celtic dominated possession at times, but it was comfortable possession. We were letting them have it, forcing it out wide, not letting them with their diamond shape play through the middle, and I don't think both teams can argue a draw, to be honest. I think today we just played well drilled, but also looked slightly fatigued. Just from the season we've had, a late European run, the physical and mental drain that it's had on us. But today, again, solid, keeping that invincible run, showing why we're champions. And another thing that I loved in the lead up to this was yesterday on social media, you were seeing everywhere, every city and town in Scotland, you're seeing it all painted red, white and blue. The 55 flags are up everywhere, from Stranraer to Saltcoats, up to Inverness, even over in Belfast. You're seeing the hills looking over Belfast with the 55 on the side of them hills and the flares and fireworks going off there. This country is red, white and blue. And that's all we're going to talk about in this video, and if you haven't done so already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and check it down in the description box below where we've got our new channel member thing. There's videos down there describing what that is about, and we've got a new little store as well. It's just for 55 merchandise and a little bit with my channel involved in it, so I'll leave a link to where you can find that down in the description below. So once again, thank you all for watching, and let's go continue the party, because we are the champions, my friends.